In a previous video, we showed you how to simply install the StackEngine controller on a single host. In this video, we'll show you how to add a host to your StackEngine deployment, or mesh. StackEngine allows you to deploy and operate multi-container applications across a resilient, distributed control plane of multiple hosts. These hosts could be on-premise, on various cloud providers, or spanning a hybrid combination across all of those. The StackEngine control plane, or mesh, can be set up in a highly resilient configuration. Your initial installation of StackEngine likely created a leader controller on a single host. So-called followers can be set up for redundancy to take over in case of a leader failure. In this video, we'll walk through spinning up a new host and adding it to the mesh as a client for simplicity. If we browse over to the StackEngine installation instructions, we can see that there are instructions on how to obtain the StackEngine installer, as well as how to install as a follower or how to install as a client. You'll notice that these commands reference your customer ID, which we mentioned in the simple installation video. One easy way to get your customer ID is to go to app.stackengine.com, log in, and you'll notice that in the standard install string that we provided with the out-of-the-box instructions, you have your customer ID here, and you'll need this to plug into the previous commands. If we head over to our newly created VM here, or host, that we want to add to our mesh, so we're going to leverage the commands on the left, again plugging in our customer ID, and also we're going to leverage the IP address of our leader or main controller. So first of all, let's download the StackEngine installation bits here, put in the curl command. Okay, looks like I've downloaded those, and then I want to install, run the installer as a client, and I want to point it at the IP address of my leader, and we can see again over here, here's the leader IP address, and we've made sure that we have that in our command line here. So I'm going to execute that, put in my sudo password here. So like we did before when we did our initial installation of StackEngine, we can see that we're looking for Docker and we're not actually finding it on this VM. Again, this is a fresh VM or host, so we're going to go ahead and install Docker here. Okay, so it looks like we've finished installing Docker here. We've added the StackEngine installation. Again, we've installed this as a client. So now let's head over back to our leader and our dashboard on or for the Container Application Center on the leader side. We're actually going to click through to our mesh here, and we can actually see we have one leader right now, or just one host in our mesh. But if we click through to no join requests, we can see that it looks like that new host where we installed StackEngine as a client has reached out to the leader, our leader here, and has sent a join request. So we can actually control in a secure fashion who gets access to the mesh. In a similar way, we can actually grant tokens to a host, so you could actually plug in the token from the command line and securely have a host join a priori if you like. But in this case, we're going to grant access to that host that wants to join our mesh. So we've granted access to that host, and shortly here we should start to see that the mesh will have two members in it. So we can see now that we granted access or allowed that host to join the mesh. We can see that we have host C as a client and host B, our original controller, is the leader here. And we're now ready to take advantage of a multi-host deployment. And we can go into our applications and set up policies for scheduling and availability to take advantage of the multiple hosts we have in the environment. So in this video, we walked through how to add a host as a client to your mesh so you can start to take advantage of multi-host deployments for your multi-container applications.